Hey guys, y'all forgive me. The last video, the very first weight loss surgery video I did, I'm wearing the same top. I literally stopped and now I'm recording the second video because I didn't want it to be too long. I realized it was getting really lengthy and I didn't want to combine it into one video. So forgive me that I'm wearing the same thing. I'm sitting here just filming two in a row, but just overlook that. So anyway, welcome to my channel. This is the second weight loss surgery video that I'm doing, and this is going to all be about the 1200 calorie diet that my nurse practitioner and my gastric bypass surgeon have put me on. So if you didn't watch my first video, I will link it down below. That's explaining everything, why I chose it, you know, what surgery, what surgeon, my experience so far, all of that stuff. My surgeon is Dr. Boyce at New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery in Knoxville, Tennessee. And this, I said in the first video, one of the things on my little checklist before my surgery, I have to be placed on a 1200 calorie diet. And there are things, it's not just calories that you have to watch. It's calories, protein, carbs, and fat are the four big things that you're really watching. And you know, I watched a lot of videos on this. And a lot of people do a lot of things like, you know, Greek yogurt, the sugar-free Greek yogurt, and just a lot of like the protein shakes that you get at the grocery store. A lot of, you know, sugar-free Jell-O. I don't even know what else I'm trying to think of, but a lot of artificial sweetener stuff. And I don't mind that stuff occasionally. But that's what I was thinking when I first started thinking, oh, I'm going to do this diet. I'm going to get on that protein and all that stuff. And I'll do things like, you know, the Greek yogurt and things like that. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, I don't really want to be eating. Me personally, I don't want my day full of artificial sweeteners. So I really try to avoid that kind of stuff. That's just me personally. Now, I have a Diet Dr. Pepper occasionally. Dr. Pepper is one of my weaknesses. I never kept it at my house, or almost never, unless I was having a party and there was a leftover 2-liter or something. But that is one of my loves, is Dr. Pepper. And I know, I said in the first video, I was just diagnosed with diabetes. So I cannot be sitting here drinking Dr. Pepper, even if it's occasionally. I mean, my favorite food is Mexican food, and one of my favorite parts about that is going to get a Dr. Pepper with my Mexican food. I mean, I used to choose a place. My husband would say, where do you want to go? And I'd be like, who has a good Dr. Pepper? I mean, who does that? So that, I love Dr. Pepper. Now that I've told you that 10-hour story about why I love Dr. Pepper. But I do. So occasionally as a treat, I will get myself a Diet Dr. Pepper, which I think tastes almost as good, but I just don't like drinking those artificial sweeteners so much. I just feel like they, in turn, are going to do bad things to you too. So I try to avoid that. So I wanted to tell you guys today some of the things that I have found super helpful. I don't think I could do this without these tips, me personally. And I'll tell you some of the food that I've been eating. So first of all, the 1200 calorie diet that my gastric surgeon has put me on, in addition to what my nurse practitioner has recommended, who is doing my medically supervised diet, 1200 calories, between 60 and 100 carbs per day, which is difficult, but it's fine. You know, the 100 especially, easily, I mean for me anyways, I can easily keep it under 100. The 60 was kind of pushing it, but the 100 I can easily do. 100 grams of protein a day, which has been pretty easy actually. That part I found really easy. And then 30 to 45 grams of fat per day, which that can kind of sometimes be a little hairy, but it's not too bad. So my tips, my number one tip is, and this is something my doctor recommended, I was already doing it though, is to keep a food journal. It doesn't have to be an actual paper and pencil journal. I do write it down because the app that I use, which I'll tell you about in a minute, which also I couldn't live without, I haven't bought the premium level. I just use the free version of this app, and it doesn't show you, like, you can look at a glance and see how many calories you have in a day, but at a glance you have to add up your protein, carbs, and fat. And that's why I like to keep this food journal, because I can kind of peek through the day and be like, where am I at with my carbs, and where am I at with my protein, and things like that. And just to plan your meals. When I used to hear people planning their meals, I thought, I never do that, but I do. At least the night before, I try to sit down and be like, okay, what do I have? What am I going to eat tomorrow? And that's really helped the first couple weeks. I think as you get on with it, you kind of don't have to do that so much anymore because you realize, oh, okay, well, that's a good breakfast. I still write it down after every meal, but you don't necessarily have to. But I've also been eating kind of the same, not the same things, but similar things. So I kind of know how many calories and protein and stuff is in it. I'll show you. I just got a cheap little notebook from Target. It does not have to, you don't have to go out and find some, I don't even know if they make food journals. I'm sure they do. But I just got a little notebook from Target. And I write every day. Let's see if I can show you. So I'll just write every day. Here's my goal. You know, just to remind myself. I've got these numbers drained into my head by now. But you can kind of see. I put the day. I put breakfast. And little columns of, that day I had 2 eggs. And I did include I didn't just do egg whites. I was going to start just eating egg whites. But I find I have enough calories and fat for the egg yolks, and you get a lot of protein. So, I mean, I just make the full eggs. So I had 2 eggs. One, it was like this whole wheat, super rich fiber tortilla that my sister got me to try, and I love it, and it's really good. So I think they're called the Olay. Can't remember, but they're really good. Any of those tortillas, though, that are really high in fiber, low in carbs, sometimes they can be high in protein. The whole wheat ones, those are the kinds that you would want to look for. And so sometimes I'll just make like one of those tortillas. I'll kind of warm it up in a pan, flip it, make it a little crispy, put my 2 eggs on it, put just a teeny bit of salsa, and have a little breakfast burrito. It's amazing. And that breakfast was 190 calories, 16 carbs, 16 grams of protein, and 11.5 grams of fat. So that was fine. It's very filling. It keeps me full till lunch. All this protein, I'll tell you what, it keeps you full. It really does. I have had no problem. I hear so many people like, oh, you know, this 1,200 calories, it's killing me. And I used to be the same way. But when you choose foods that are high in protein, you know, if you stick with these numbers, I've been so full after my meals, and it lasts for me. So I'm really, that part of this diet has not been hard. The hard part for me is cutting out sugar. I didn't realize, I probably did realize, but I know I was eating a lot of sugar before. If I wanted it, I'd get it. If I wanted a chocolate chip cookie from Chick-fil-A, I would go get it. That and a large Dr. Pepper, and I'd be like, woohoo, you know, I'm good to go. I was craving a lot of sugar, which I think you do as a diabetic. The more your blood sugars are up, the more you crave it. And I was craving a lot, and I was getting it when I wanted it. And so to just cut it off, I'm not saying I never had anything for sugar, but to just cut it off from what I was doing, it was hard. I was so mad. I was like angry. I was like, I just want chocolate. And I just want a Dr. Pepper. I just want that. I want a cupcake. I want a whole cake. I just want to cram it all in my mouth. I was really mad those first few days. I think I noticed after like the first 3 or 4 days, it got a lot better. I mean, literally the first 3 days, because I'm a night eater too. After my girls go to bed, I'm that kind of mom that I was like, no, girls, you can't have the cupcake, or we can't get that candy. And then they'll go to bed, and I'm like, where's the candy? But I really try hard to keep my girls pretty healthy. I'm not saying they never eat candy and bad things, but I work hard to keep my girls healthy, because I just don't want them to turn out like this. But anyway. So that was me. Every night I'd be sitting there watching TV, eating my bowl of cereal. That's one of my favorite things, or whatever, terrible things at night. So I was so used to that, and I would literally put my kids to bed and go sit on the couch or do whatever I needed to do. Then I'd be sitting on the couch right before bed. That is all I would think about, is I just want a bowl of cereal. I just want a bowl of cereal. I want a bowl of cereal. And then my mom would get distracted for a few minutes on the show I was watching, and then I'd go back, I just want a bowl of cereal. And I would be like, just go to bed, because I can't take this craziness anymore. I mean, it was awful the first 3 days, and I thought I was so dumb, but the more I hear of people saying it is an addiction, it's like this hold on your body. So that was the only thing. I wasn't hungry at all. I just wanted those sugary foods. I wanted to eat them. So that part is like gone for me now. And I still eat a little bit. Like, we had some Easter candy. Oh my gosh. Oh, and if my mother-in-law is watching this, I don't mean this in a mean way at all. But she watched my girls, and they baked cupcakes. And she sent 9 home with them. I think it was 9 cupcakes. I think that's what my husband said. Well, my dad and my sister were here, and her kids. So I thought, that's okay. I think there were 8 of us here. I thought, we can each have 1 cupcake. It's Easter. I will have 1 cupcake. It's fine. I truly believe that you know what, you have to have some treats sometimes. You have to. Everything in moderation. So one cupcake, if I had been doing well, I was not going to beat myself up about it. Well, we had other treats, and no one ate those cupcakes. And I'm not even going to tell you. I should have thrown them away. They were really good. And I ate way too many of them, and I was so mad at myself. But I did it. That's another thing. You just can't. In the past, I'd be like, oh, forget it. I felt so bad. I'm just not going to try anymore. You just can't do that. You have to say, oh my gosh, that was horrible. I should not have done that. But that's okay, because tomorrow I'm going to start again, and I'm going to get back on this. And that's what I did, and I was okay with that. So that was horrible. I ate some Easter candy, you know, terrible. But the difference is I'm now eating like, not even every day, but I'm now eating like a Hershey Kiss instead of a bag. Oh no, I never ate a bag, but you know what I mean. If I really want something, and we got to get rid of this Easter candy, but if it's in my house, I will eat it, which that's my problem, but we'll get rid of it. But I'm still proud of myself though, because literally like a little Hershey egg, I'll have that instead of, you know, a whole bag of something. So it's not like I'm not eating sugar at all, don't get me wrong, but I'm not at all like I was. So that was really hard. So if you're going through that, I think that's normal. I don't think it's all in your head. Maybe it is, but it was really hard for me. So keeping the food journal, just so you can throughout the day be like, ooh, I'm almost to my carbs. I really need to be careful. That is a huge tip. The app that I was using is MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is what it's called. I'll try to link it down below. And it's awesome. You have to be careful because you can search your food and stuff in there. You got to make sure, because it's not 100% accurate with the calories and all that stuff, but most of the time it is. You can scan things, which that's the most accurate way of doing it. So if you can scan the barcode of what you're eating, that really helps. But it tracks, you know, your food and your calories and stuff. A lot of restaurants, it'll have the nutritional facts and things like that, which that's another thing. Speaking of restaurants, that was one of our weaknesses, is going out to eat way too much. And in these past couple weeks, I think we've had fast food one time, and that's very odd for us. So that's a huge thing. My whole family is going to be changing during this process, and my husband said he's happy to do it too. So and that's good. It's going to really benefit everybody. So we just don't eat out a whole lot. But when I do eat out, I'll have at least one good cheat meal a week. Now, it's been Mexican for the past couple weeks. And like I said, I pretty much don't hold back, except I don't get a Dr. Pepper. I get water. That's a big difference for me. But like with the chips and salsa, I will just eat them. I eat them how I want them. But I'll choose things like, instead of a taco salad with that big taco shell, last time I chose the chorizo sausage, or the chorizo tacos, and I just ate the meat out of it. I didn't eat the tortilla. So little things like that. There were a lot of carbs, a lot of fat, and a lot of calories in those cheat meals, but it was a cheat meal, not a cheat day. And I enjoyed it. So, and I still was pretty close to my calories. You know, if I know I'm going out that night, I'll try to have kind of a lower calorie breakfast and lunch. It's still not great, but whatever. I do it, and I'm still pretty close to my calories, and it's still 100 times better than how I was doing. So, you know, it's one of those things, as I know I'm having gastric bypass in a few months, I'm trying to make kind of a food funeral bucket list. And for my cheat meals, I am making them count. Like, I'm getting my Mexican food occasionally, very occasionally. Like I said, something I want to have is Cracker Barrel's French toast. Isn't that horrible? I can't even, just saying it, I'm like, don't do it. But you know, I think 4 pieces of toast come with it. Maybe I'll have one. It's still bad, but maybe I'll just have one. But I just want to, you know, enjoy those foods. It's not like I'm never going to eat them again, but it's going to be a long time, and I don't want to eat them very often. So anyway, I just want to kind of get little bites of things now and then. It's a whole different story. But anyway, I'm trying to come up with things that are successful here. So, so another thing, so the food journal, MyFitnessPal, and then my doctor recommends getting 64 ounces of fluid in a day, which I think most people stick to that amount at least. And I have so many water bottles. If I find a cute water bottle, I have to get it. But the best water bottle that I have found, the water just goes down so fast. And I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've drank 24 ounces of water already, and it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. How is that? Are these water bottles that I found at Target. I think the brand is Pogo. And they're 32-ounce water bottles, so only 2 of these in a day. And I try to make it a goal to have one drink by lunchtime and then drink the other one. I'm usually drinking more than 2 of these a day on most days. So I try to drink at least 2 of these in the day. So anyway, so that's another thing I had to really work on, is getting my water in, and I've done a great job. So those are some tips for the pre-op 1,200 calorie diet. Some of the foods I've been eating, I told you about that little tortilla things that my sister got me to try. They were just the high fiber, any of those, just read those nutrition labels. Not the percentages of the daily, but read the amounts and have a goal. Ask your doctor, what should my goal be for the day? Because not everybody's going to be 1,200 calories. Some people, that could be way too little. That could be not enough energy that they get in a day of their food. So ask your doctor, what do you recommend for me? The MyFitnessPal, actually, that app recommends amount of calories for you also. But some of the foods I've been eating, well, let's go through my food journal, shall we? A lot of chicken breasts, salmon, a lot of salmon. Salmon and chicken breasts are packed with protein. I've eaten a lot of that. Lots of raw vegetables. My girls love that. I was kind of surprised. I knew they love raw vegetables like bell peppers, cucumbers, but I didn't think they'd be snacking on them like they would if I put a bowl of candy on the table, and they have. They've loved it, so that was nice. I got some turkey meatballs, and I got some whole wheat noodles, and I make some just spaghetti sauce, and I will dip out like 1/4 a cup of spaghetti sauce, and I'll have some turkey meatballs, and I'll measure out my pasta, and I use my kids' plates. So I know that they're small kids' plates, but when I see the plate heaping full of that pasta, because it's a tiny plate, I can look at it and say, this is a kid's plate. Of course it's going to be that way, but my brain really says, whoa, that's a huge bowl of pasta, or that's a huge plate of pasta. And it works. I've heard that tip a million times. I probably tried it a million times, but I don't know. It works. So I measure things out. That's another tip. I really do measure. If you can get a little scale, we have a cheap scale. I don't think this was very expensive, but it's just a little scale, and I'll zero out the plate, and I'll put the chicken on it, and I'll make sure and see, okay, how many ounces of chicken am I having? That does not work for everybody. Some people that would drive crazy, but I like to know exactly, what I'm eating. So I have the time for it, luckily. So I've been doing that. But so yeah, the turkey meatballs, turkey sausage, which I used to eat before. I love that. It does have a lot of sodium in it. That's the only thing. Turkey sausage and peppers. That's delicious. You can add noodles to it or not. I try to avoid the noodles. I do like the Atkins shakes. Like I said, I try to avoid those artificial sweeteners. But if I'm craving something sweet and chocolatey, if I have one of those, it's like drinking chocolate milk. It really is good. I really do like those. So sometimes I'll have those as a little treat. I have made a great protein shake, and I don't remember if y'all are interested in that recipe. Comment down below. But it had blueberries, frozen mangoes, protein powder, unsweetened almond milk, and chia seeds, I think. And it was kind of like a lightly sweetened vanilla milkshake is kind of what it ended up tasting like. It was really good. I really like that, and it kept me really full. So if y'all want that recipe, comment down below, and I'll try to find it. In fact, I'm making it tomorrow because we're going to the gym. So I also, those Kind bars, if you see those, the little protein bars, oh my gosh, I got one and I was like, oh, I wonder what this tastes like. This is when I was going through my huge sugar withdrawals, and I really wanted a Three Musketeer bar. I thought I would kill somebody for a Three Musketeer bar, but I got this Kind protein bar and I ate it, and I was like, I could easily eat that instead of a candy bar. That was delicious, and it is delicious. And I was telling my sister about it. I was like, you should try these, and she was like, oh, how many calories does it have? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And yeah, 200 calories, 200 calories, 15 grams of fat. I don't remember how many carbs. Sure, it has protein. Sure, a lot of the fat comes from the almonds that are in it, but I'm sorry. I'm just not going to eat a snack that's a big portion. I don't know. Maybe if I'm dying for it, but I started buying a lot of them, and I was like, this is terrible. I'm not getting these anymore. So A really awesome breakfast that I had was scrambled eggs. I made like a breakfast bowl. It was some scrambled eggs. I portioned out 2 ounces of chorizo sausage, which is so flavorful. And then I counted out 6 cherry tomatoes, cut them in half, put them all in a bowl, and it was delicious. I had that like every day for 3 days at least for breakfast. So another thing my husband made was some taco soup. Again, if you guys are wanting some of these recipes, let me know. Just, it helps to get different ideas because, you know, you get bored of different foods. And if you can keep it spiced up and different things that you get excited about, then it makes it easier, you know. We had tacos one night. It's, you know, Taco Tuesday at our house. And I just had in a bowl, I almost made like a taco salad, but with no chips. I think I ended up having 1 tortilla, but it's just one, like a little bitty tortilla. I put hamburger meat, red onions, tomatoes, lettuce, basically the innards of the taco, and put it in a bowl, and it was delicious. So that was great. And then I think I added a little bit of refried or some beans or something to it, which that had, you know, definitely some calories, but it adds a lot to it, and it adds protein. So that was really good. But, you know, I could go on and on with some ideas, but if y'all want me to list some recipes in the comments, just let me know. I'd be happy to tell you some of the things I'm eating, and along the way, if I come up with any other ideas, I'll let you know. Okay, so I think that's it. I think those are some of the biggest things that have helped me through this 1,200 calorie diet. Again, along the way, through my progress, through my pre-op stage of everything, if I find some helpful things, I'll definitely let you know. So just be drinking that water, sticking to it, using that food diary, and not beating yourself up when you slip, because nobody's going to be perfect, ever. I don't care, I mean, who you are. I'm sure there are some perfect people, don't get me wrong. But you just can't. I really believe that everything in moderation rule, and you know, you gotta have treats now and then. And then one other tip I have, a big thing after gastric bypass surgery is after several months, due to the anesthesia and the quick weight loss and sometimes vitamin deficiencies, you lose a lot of hair. And that, I have to say, other than the big consequences, of course, that could, you know, death, of course, is probably my, obviously, number one thing, is the risk of surgery. But one of my biggest, you know, worries is hair loss, because, you know, that's terrible to have big bald patch. I don't know, that just, it's nerve-wracking to me. It's the fear of the unknown. I don't know how bad it's going to be for me. I don't know. So I am trying to boost it up big time. But I'm taking biotin. My nurse practitioner gave me a dose of biotin to take. So I got some biotin over the counter, and I got some hair, nail, and skin vitamins. And then I take those in the morning. It's like 3 capsules. They're a little pink. I can't remember the brand name, but there's a billion brands. I take those in the morning, and then I take 1 more biotin at night, and that gives me the total dose of biotin in a day that she told me to take. And then my sister is getting me, she works at a salon, she's getting me this treatment. I don't know the name of it, and I haven't even gotten it yet, so I'm not sure. But it's a treatment that you do a couple times a week, and it helps to grow hair out of the follicles that have kind of started dying off and that really aren't growing anymore. So it kind of helps to kind of revive them, to kind of grow some extra hair. So I'm hoping that if I can really build up my hair before the surgery, that will at least help some. It may be completely a moot point, but I'll at least know that I tried my best. Those are some of the tips that are helping me. If you guys are going through this process, or if you have already been through this process, if you can think of anything that I talked about today that would really help me, or things maybe that you did and you definitely noticed a difference that they helped you before, or things you wish you would have done before, whatever advice you want to give me, I am all for it, and I am all ready to read these comments that hopefully will be flowing in, letting me know some good advice, or just any questions. Don't hesitate to ask me down in the comments. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to continue seeing my journey. Y'all have a great rest of the day. Bye.